Okay, so next we have a rune, and you will notice it looks like kind of an antler on a reindeer or something like that with all the prongs, and that's because it is. This is an antler of, say, an elk. It does mean elk, and it's about protection. If what you stand up for. If you think of my hands being antlers, and when they crack up against each other, they're standing up for something. They might want the female elk, whatever a female elk is called, but they're standing up for something. So this is about kind of advocacy, standing up for something, protecting something, taking care of something. So that might be something you might consider yours, or something that you might consider needs protecting from you. So protection. Now here's another one of protection, but it means something very different. Alright, so notice it looks like kind of a stem of a flower with a thorn on it, or it looks like a handle with a mallet on it. That's exactly what it is. This is like the thorn in your side, and it's also a hammer. This is, think of a hammer, boom, boom. This is the card that does actually represent a hammer. Think of what you do with a hammer. You might use it to protect you or your family back in the day when these were made. Remember, runes come from before Christianity. It may be something that is directed energy toward that nail or whatever you're making. Hammer can also represent anger and violence. Bang, bang, bang. It can be a weapon. It can destroy things. So this is kind of a negative rune, and it's about kind of fighting back. So if you think of this, this is more advocacy in terms of supporting. This is kind of to take down. Okay. Now you'll notice I have another rune that looks very similar. Notice how they look quite similar, but this one has kind of the triangle in the middle. This one looks more like a flag, kind of a success. Think of this as our victory flag, because that's exactly what this is. This is happiness and joy and a successful conclusion. It's like, woo, victory, very productive, happy. So think of this as a waving flag. This is a very nice rune, very positive one compared to this one, which is negative weapon. Okay, so next we have two more that look similar. This looks like an S. It is. This looks like an S that's squashed. So let's start with this one. S, think of S and sun. This is sun. This actually is energy and light and fuel, all those wonderful things. It's our power. It's how we manifest ourselves. So this is the energy that comes from within us. So if you think of this one, it's kind of a constricted sun, and it's actually squashed, and it is constriction. This actually represents a U branch, where they used to make bows and arrows out of yew. It was a wood that was very flexible, and it could bend without breaking. So here we have something that was used for protection, but what can protect us can also hurt us. Think of those bows and arrows, they can come back at us. So this is a different kind of card of protection. Think about a bow. What protect us can also hurt us, constriction, but it's also about perseverance. Once you have that weapon, you can fight your way through, and you can get in, but you've got to do the dirty work. You've got to use the bow in order to make it happen. So we've got a very positive sun, and then we've got constriction there. So when you look at your runes, you want to compare to make sure you can tell the difference between these two. Depending on the set of runes that you have, you'll notice that they're very similar, and yet you can see this is the constricted one, this is the sun one. This set of runes is a little harder to see. This is amethyst, but you can see this is a constricted one, and this is a little more open. So just get familiar with your runes if you purchase them, and don't make them yourself. And the same thing here. See if you can tell which is which. For my wooden ones, you can see there's the open one, there's the constricted one. So just get familiar with your runes. and you just made it through video 2. You now know 10 runes. We're almost halfway there. Good job.